I want to talk to you a little bit about loneliness. Loneliness and how we can take two different ways when this happens in your life. You may be somebody that has constantly, gone before God and been ran to the throne and been like, hey, I need you to take control of my life. I don't know what I'm doing. I want your way, not my way. I deny myself. You know, you need help. You've gone and asked for help. And then, boom, things seem to be getting very lonely. Things start to separate. He set you apart and things start to burn up. That holy fire starts to hit you. It starts to burn up the personality traits. It starts to burn up the things that shouldn't be in their life. And boom, you find yourself standing alone. This is a pivotal moment where you can either look at it as you're lonely and you need to do something about it, or you can embrace that lonely time with God because most of the time He is just wanting you to Himself. And you may be looking at different, maybe you're on social media looking at other people's lives and realizing you're like, oh, I want that, or their life seems great, or all these things. But your path is different. Your path is different, and He's going to bring you into the perfect will. He's going to bring you all the things that you desire. um I mean, that's what Psalms talks about. He says He's going to give you desires too, not just your needs. He's going to give you your desires. But first, He's going to try and build you up in certain different ways. And it may be a short season, it may be a long season, but it is a untraveled road. Because when you're in the loneliness, two things happen. You're either going to try and opt out of it because you can't handle it, or you're going to stick in it because you're actually relying on Him. Do you know that patience is a fruit of the Spirit? So you may be in the season for a long time. You may look back at it and be like, how have I stood in this loneliness period for so long? Okay. How have I made it through? Like, how have I done this good? Do you understand that when you rely on God, when you're relying and yielding to the Holy Spirit, that patience, that wait is actually a fruit of the Spirit? It's actually Him that's doing it. He's the one that's giving you strength. In Isaiah 41:10. Isaiah 41:10 says, "Do not be afraid, for I am with you. Don't be discouraged, for I am your God. I will strengthen you and help you. I will hold you up with my victorious hand." Now, isn't that amazing? So He's going to be your strength. He's going to be the one that gives you patience. He's going to one that's going to give you the strength to endure. All right. So you can look at it as a training ground, or you can try and opt out and see what the world is doing. And you're like, man, I'm just going to bring this into my own hands. Now, I am someone who is guilty of this entirely. Been in that loneliness period for a long time because there's been a lot of rebuilding He had to do in my life. A lot of rebuilding, you know? So He basically tore all the walls down and He's been building that layer step by step by step. And I've looked back at it and been like, how have I stuck in this for so long? You know? And it's like, it's only because of Him. It's only because the strength that He has given me that I have called out to. I can't do it on my own. That's the whole thing. I can't do it on my own. Now, it's important to have community. It's important to have people you can trust. But sometimes for your own mental and physical health, you can't be around certain people. You can't be in these, certain situations that are of the world. You can't put yourself in those situations. God isn't necessarily going to stop the enemy from coming after you, but He is going to protect you, and when the enemy comes at you, like, he can use these as different training spots, different training ground material for you. It's only going to build you up. The devil's kind of dumb. He's kind of dumb because in my life, everything he does to me, it's like you realize everything you have done just pushes me closer to him. And he'll start to see that, like, the enemy's mode of operation will start to see this, that it's pretty counterproductive to mess with you because it just builds you up and builds you up and builds you up, but they don't got any other ammo. So they don't really know what to do. They're not that smart. They have knowledge of the spiritual realm, and they know who the true God is. They're trying to wear you down over time, especially in that loneliness period. They'll come after you mentally and stuff. That's why you have to take all these thoughts captive. You have to take all the thoughts captive and bring them down that exalt themselves above Jesus, above anything that is absolute truth. Loneliness is the one spot where God is going to mold you. He's going to refine you. He's going to take you as his private stock, hide you in the cleft of the rock, and then when in his time, he is going to put you on full display. Whatever display that is for him, he's already gone into the future and prepared your future. And he's going to protect you from the harm of your past, Psalms 139. That's what he does. And he's just going to build you up. He's going to build you up, protect you and protect you and protect you. Nothing that comes against you, nothing up here, nothing physically can take you down. You're still here. And you're going to continue to go on because you rely on him for your strength. You rely on him. Deuteronomy 31:6 says, "So be strong and courageous. Do not be afraid and do not panic before them. For the Lord your God will personally go ahead of you. He will neither fail you nor abandon you." So he's going to personally take you into an account. Just you. Take everyone else out of the world. He's going to take you. He's going to be looking at you and say, "I will personally go ahead." He's your advocate. He will personally go ahead for you. That's so personal. That is so loving and kind. That is, and he's going to protect you because why? He looks at each and every one of you as his children. So you can't look at this loneliness period as a bad thing. It can hurt sometimes. Don't get me wrong. I know plenty of situations where you get sick of it. You get sick of the loneliness, the not having those people to rely on, the conversations to have with, because everybody else you talk to may seem like small talk. And if anybody doesn't like small talk, it's this guy. So I understand that. And to have people on the same page as you, especially when you're going through that fire, when you're going through that training ground and you feel like no one else understands you, when you get excited about something, you have revelation on something, you go to talk to someone, they're like, "Oh, that's cool. That's great." And you're like, you don't get it. You don't get it because they didn't have that revelation. They didn't understand because they're not in the training ground with you. Most of the time, you're set apart. You're set apart, and God is he's just molding you. So don't look at it as a bad thing. He is bringing you into that perfect plan, that perfect future. And you'll sense things in your spirit when big things are about to happen, when things are about to happen in your life. You'll sense it because he'll start to talk to you about your next level. So in that training ground, he prepares you and then he promotes you. So your training ground, your loneliness is all preparation. You look at the attacks and the loneliness as warfare, or what's the word? Hardship, but it's actually God preparing you. And yeah, the enemy's going to come at you, but God's protecting you. And we can't just necessarily, when things do come across, he also wants you to establish your authority in that loneliness. He's going to bring the authority. He wants you to understand the authority. So in that preparation and things happen, he may allow things to happen just so you take the initiative, just so you understand who you are and start take authority for yourself. He wants you to realize that you are an ambassador of God. Again, Ephesians 4:1 tells you that Paul begs you to live according to your high rank. Your high rank. You are royalty in the kingdom. You are top tier. You are top tier. You are made in God's image. Do you remember that? You were made in his image. The devil, they all hate you. Okay, the devil absolutely hates you because he wasn't made in God's image. You know, he's seen Adam and Eve and he's like, oh, they look like God. What's up with that? That's not cool. So you have to understand, and I got so much more to say on this, but loneliness is a training ground. You can either opt out or you can rely on him and continue in that patience and continue in the self-control in all the fruits of the spirit and realize that he's been in it the whole time with you. He's been in it the whole time. None of this, you can't make it through it. If you don't opt out, it's because of him. It's because he's building you up. He's been side by side with you this entire time. And that's very encouraging because he's going to bring you into the next level, the next phase he has for you. It isn't constant. The loneliness isn't constant. I'm still in a period of training. It's been a lot of training for the last 2 years. And within the last year has been like n- next tier level training. He's just been bringing me through training tiers. And don't get me wrong, I'm ready. I feel like I'm ready for the next level. And I feel in my spirit that it is coming. But I cannot opt out. I cannot do it. I can't do it because he's brought me this far. And I just want to tell you and encourage you to keep holding on, keep relying on him. You can do it. You can do it because he's going to blow your mind with the future he has for you. We'll talk to you soon.